Right now, we're at the 2025 Music City Motorhome Expo in Lebanon, Tennessee. This is put together through National Indoor RV Centers.
We recently went through the, I guess I'll say, daunting process of shopping for an RV. Now, this can be daunting for people that have been doing it for a while and people that are constantly around shows and everything else. I can't even imagine what it must be like for somebody that has never owned an RV before, doesn't really know much about RVs.
Yeah, buying an RV is not like buying a regular vehicle where you have that warranty. You can go to any dealership and they'll fix it for you. And they're made by machines, they're super reliable. Buying an RV is not like that. RVs are not like that. And if you're doing it correctly, we're gonna go out on a limb and say it should be exhausting. You should be doing your homework and it should be taking a lot of your energy, even if you're buying new. So in this video, we're gonna give you some tips that you should look at, maybe use, but some things that we've used when buying our RV.
Definitely you're going to want to stay to the end. We have a really good bonus tip, and this is something that a lot of people miss when they purchase.
Right now, we're at the 2025 Music City Motorhome Expo in Lebanon, Tennessee. This is put together through National Indoor RV Centers. So most of the coaches around here are new. There are some over on the used lot. What we're going to talk about in this video is going to apply to new and old. So the first one, really the most important, is what are you going to use this RV for? Is it going to be something that you're using once a year? Is it going to be something where you're full timing in? Do you want it to have something that you can just park anywhere, or do you want the living space? So like over to my left here, you do have a Integra Class B van on the Ram chassis. That's something that you can fit anywhere. You can stealth camp. It's really park it and get out. Over to my right here, you see some Super Cs. People tend to get these because they want the higher towing capacity. They're looking to pull a lot of stuff and they want some room inside. And if you look even further to my right, you have some big Class A motorhomes. And a lot of people that full time, they'll choose to be in something like that. That's what we like. That's where you're gonna get the most space, the most cargo carrying capacity, and ability to tow a lot.
So in terms of us, and when we were shopping, a lot of people said, why are you going bigger? That was one of the biggest questions we were getting. Why so big? Why do you want a bigger RV? For us, our life is changing drastically over the next 3 to 6 months. Izzy's retiring. We're going to be hitting the road and really turning into most time RVers. So we wanted more space. We wanted more towing capacity. Our life is changing, so our RV shopping changes.
We can't cover everything that you should be looking for in this video. We have over 1,400 videos uploaded, so we cover a lot of those questions. You want to make sure subscribe, notification bells on, because again, everything is not going to be covered in here. One thing that's often overlooked from inexperienced RVers is the cargo carrying capacity. And that's how much you can actually carry on the RV itself. This is for towables, motorized. We're here, they only have motorized here. But it's really important because you got to calculate, okay, how long am I going to be on? How many people are going to be here? I'm going to carry water with me, luggage. Easy place to find it on the motorized. They're usually right on the inside door. So we are here with this Integra Class B, and you can see right over here, it says the combined weight of occupants and cargo should never exceed 1,674 pounds. So for this, that's okay. It's not too bad because this is much smaller. Let's go over to a Super C, show what you can find on that. On this Accolade XL, you can see right over here, it has the total cargo carrying capacity of 5,058 pounds. And it also breaks it down even more. So it says a full load of water equals 597 pounds. It tells you how much water weighs per gallon. What we're trying to say is make sure you look at that, because that can become a big problem, especially for those B pluses with the slides. A lot of them don't have a large cargo carrying capacity. We just want you to be aware before maybe you get into something and then you realize, I really can't carry anything and this doesn't fit the lifestyle I thought I was going to have.
Now the next one is very important for safety, and you're going to have to focus on this even more so on the used end. The first one is going to be check the condition of the tires also, but the date code is really, really important. So you'll see the date code here. You have the 46th week of, what is that? I don't have
24.
24. I don't have
You'll see 4 digits.
I don't have my reading glasses on. Sorry. So yes, so that's really important. So when we bought our motorhome a few weeks ago, we know that the tires were from 22. So we're good. We got a couple years left, but we're still always checking the condition of the tires. The next thing is the batteries. Also, you want to make sure that these batteries are in decent condition. Again, even on a new motorhome, sometimes, well, we've seen motorhomes, guys, that have been sitting on lots for 3 years. It's really important to check the condition of those batteries. Along with that is going to come your roof seals, any seals really, but those roof seals to avoid water intrusion. Used motorhomes, again, this doesn't exclude new motorhomes because, like I said, there are many new motorhomes that have been sitting on lots now for years, and you have to get up there or have an inspector get up there and make sure there is no chance of water intrusion.
How about the next one? I said earlier, what's going to be your use for this RV? Are you going to be using it in extremely cold weather? Is it capable of doing that? Now, if you have like a Class A motorhome or even these, all of the bays they're heated, everything's tucked up high. If you're going with a regular travel trailer that's not really rated for this season, it's something you want to be out in super cold weather. Another thing we looked at when we were buying our motorhome was the towing capacity. So you have the maximum towing capacity, which a lot of manufacturers advertise has an 8,000 pound hitch, has a 20,000 pound hitch, but that's dependent on how much you carry. And so this unit right here, 12,000 pound capacity. And the way you can tell, of course, it'll be on the specs, but right on the hitch over here, you see, now this hitch is rated for 12,000 pounds. Does that mean that this can tow 12,000 pounds? We have to go back and read the specs. What are the conditions that this can tow 12,000 pounds? That's very important.
And this was one of the big reasons that we decided to go with a bigger motorhome. The next section was questions about dealers, warranties, trade. Are you going to trade in? So this was a big thing for us. We went back and forth. Are we going to trade? Are we going to sell it ourselves? It was just a lot to think about. We knew we would get more on a private sale, but we didn't want to deal with the hassle of a private sale, which then led us to something really great.
Right. So we wound up using motorhomefinders.com, and we got multiple trade offers, and you almost always get more when you sell it. There's an advantage of trading in because of tax, but we knew at a certain price it made more sense to sell it. Now, motorhomefinders.com was great for us. We listed our motorhome on there, and they did all the work. So we didn't really want to deal with the many calls we knew we were going to get. They did all that. They sent out a professional photographer, made our motorhome look great. They listed it for us, and they answered all the calls.
It did look good, but they made it look really good.
They made it look really good. And what's nice is that they filter out, and it's both for both the seller and buyer.
Right.
For the seller, they filter out the tire kickers. You kind of have to be pre-qualified. You have to be serious. And then if you are serious, then that's when we get the call. But they set everything up in between. Now, for the seller, it's a great, legitimate third party because you will send your deposit through them and they hold it until everything is done. Now, for them to even get a deposit, for us to list, we have to provide who we are, they verify, title, all that information. So it really put us at an ease of mind because we didn't have to field all the calls and deal with the wires and all that. They took care of all of that.
Right, and I know a lot of people are probably right now, is Motorhome Finders a scam? That's the first thing that I always do.
Great reviews.
Yeah, great reviews. And again, we've lived it now and literally sold our motorhome in 12 hours. Obviously, our YouTube channel helped a little bit, but the manner in which they do it, the quality of the ad and things like that really helped in pushing this.
And they have a really high success rate because you may think your motorhome is worth a certain amount, and the reality is that it isn't. And they're going to tell you that, like, hey, listen, we can list it for what you want, but if you want to sell it, you probably should list it for this. So we absolutely love them. If you want more information, you're looking to sell your motorhome, we're going to put the link down below, motorhomefinders.com. Absolutely, really like a godsend for us because we wound up making a significant amount more money selling it privately versus the trading in. Big part of that was motorhomefinders.com.
The next one is there a PDI? If you don't know what PDI is, it's a pre-delivery inspection, really important part of picking up of an RV. Is there an exorbitant fee for this PDI? That's something that you want to know. Also, this was extremely critical for us, and we actually didn't look at certain dealers because of this, is will a dealer allow private third-party inspections? A lot of you had reached out, oh, look at this place, but some of these dealers do not allow third-party inspections. So for us, that was just a deal breaker.
Let's talk about warranties and service, two very important things. Now, if you buy a new RV, there's going to be a warranty, usually 1 to 2 years for like a bumper to bumper, and then depending on what you get, it could be up to 10 years in structural. Does the company that you're buying from, as far as a manufacturer, do they stand behind their product? And you can go right online and you can find out who's good and who's bad. More importantly, the dealership. Does the dealership have the ability to service the warranty claims? We're at National Indoor RV Center's Music City Motorhome Expo. We said that earlier. They have an extremely good reputation for servicing the products that they sell, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you buy used, it's not going to come with a warranty. However, the dealership that you buy from, do they have a service center? So if something goes wrong, can you fix it there? Also, extended warranties, or I should say extended service plans. That's the appropriate thing. Extended service plans, what is out there? We personally use wholesale warranties. We've used them for like 3 years now. We have a plan on our Dutch Star now, and they've been great. They've paid out tens of thousands of dollars on our base Star, so much so that the warranty extended service plan was worth more than what the premium was. A couple more things before we wrap this up. This is an important one, hidden fees. Now, you'll have dealerships that advertise a super low price, and then they just hammer you with hidden fees, hidden fees, hidden fees. Guys, here's the bottom line. Going out the door, what is the final price? That's what matters. This is where Chris Lizio from N2RVs was a huge help, because he knows this game. He was in it for a long time as a person working for a dealership, as a finance manager, many dealerships. Now he has his own place, and he can pick apart these contracts and tell you, no, check, nope, 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 don't pay for any of this. To keep it simple, everything is negotiable except your title, registration, like the mandatory state fees. Everything else is 100% negotiable.
The last section is going to discuss maintenance and usage. So what kind of maintenance is your RV going to require? Every RV requires maintenance. Every RV has issues, but you have to know, am I going to be able to afford this? We recently did a video, we'll link it up above, on our previous motorhome. We laid out all our maintenance costs for 2024, and some people at the show stopped us. They said, wow, I had no idea. Yeah. But it's reality.
And that's when you get in trouble. You have no idea. So
right.
Here's a kind of rule of thumb. The towables tend to cost a lot less to maintain, to register, to keep on the road. Not that there's not maintenance, but a lot of this stuff is simpler to maintain. You start getting into things like what's behind us, it gets expensive. Like they just did an oil change on our motorhome before us coming up. The dealership was kind enough to do that. I saw the bill, $624 for an oil change. So guess who's going to be learning how to change oil? Yeah. This guy. Well, the reason why we say this is because there's so much more than just that monthly payment at the upfront cost if you buy cash. You have reoccurring costs. And if you're not handy and you're not willing to learn, and even more so, if you don't stay up on the maintenance, this is going to get real expensive, real fast. It's going to become really frustrating. That's when people start complaining because they don't know what they're getting into.
And they quit, and that's not something we want. This is an amazing lifestyle, but you have to go in knowing these things. And again, we just lived this whole process again, which is why we want to share.
This thing, and we're trying to hit things that are often overlooked, and we learned this. Where am I going to get this service? We live in New Jersey now. Hopefully we'll be in Tennessee within a year or so. But we're in New Jersey. We have a couple of service centers that are great, but there's not that many of them. And they know that, and they charge a lot, and some of them, it takes a little bit of time to get in. So where are you going to have this service? Do you have good service centers around you? The second thing, often overlooked, where am I going to store this? Now, if you have something like this, it might be easier, or like that van over there, most people can park that right in their driveway. If you have something like this becomes maybe more of an issue. For us, we're fortunate we can park our motorhome in our driveway. That saves us
Although it's
barely.
A beast getting it up now.
That saves us $300 to $400 a month in storage, plus we can plug it in, plus we can monitor. We're not worried about theft and all that. That's something that's very important. We just want you to keep that in mind.
So here's the bonus tip. Number one, bring a checklist with you. You want to have everything written. Your mind is going to be all over the place. When you're going to get a motorhome, you're not thinking of all these things. Come prepared with that checklist and record your walkthrough, because when we first did our first RV ever, our travel trailer, well, I think it was a pretty bad PDI from what I remember.
It was a terrible PDI.
Yeah, but we didn't write anything down. We just kind of, again.
We learned on the fly.
We did, and we would never do that again.
And we've owned a motorhome for like 7 years, 6-7 years now, and then we just moved into the Dutch Star. And moving from the base Star we had to the Dutch Star, we're learning a lot. And we don't pretend to learn everything. We're actually going to be going to a Freightliner class. We're hoping to get down to Gaffney to do like the full camp Freightliner or Newmar. Like there's quite a few things that were on the forums, and we have to learn, because if we don't, we're going to be paying somebody else to do these things, and who wants to do that? So in the comments below, let us know, what do you think? Was it a huge learning curve? Do you have a towable, motorized? Did you go from motorized, towable, total motorized, out of the lifeless style altogether? We want to know. More importantly, our viewers want to know. If you like videos like this to the left of us, we'll put our RV newbies playlist. We'll also put our RV buying tips playlist, and for myself and MJ, to Journey of a Lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.